That's when they had just given, and they decided to give Walter Jones. Walter Jones and Steve are both Hall of Famers, but they gave all their money to the left tackle, Walter Jones, and tried to go on the cheap with Steve. And Rob came in with that poison pill. If you swallow that pill, you're going to have to pay him more than Walter Jones, which they couldn't do, so they had to let him go. So Rob's mind, he was ahead of the NFL curve on that one. Seattle comes back, a year later and did the same thing to Nate Burleson.
Yep.
And then the NFL stepped in and said, enough of this. This is a bad look. And they closed that loophole on contracts like that. So, it's good that Rob has someone in here that he likes because Rob's not going to be able to, he's not going to be able to do all of what he needs to do and be the cap guy. I mean, I'm sure that he'll sign off on everything, but he can't be the one that does all the, the lower level work.
Well, you need some more than one mind in there doing that, and just dropping this responsibility on Rob Brzezinski. And if you were to do it by himself, that too is a recipe for disaster, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm glad they did this and give him some help. Further busting up of the Seahawks, it sounds like Clint Kubiak, their offensive coordinator, is going to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. And of course, you saw that as a signal for Mike Zimmer is now the offensive coordinator whisperer.
How is he not?
If we go back in his history, I'm just not completely in agreement with that.
How is he not? He gave two guys their first offensive coordinator jobs. One of them has Kevin Stefanski went on and he won 2 Coach of the Years in Cleveland, for Christ's sake. And Cleveland, makes a dumb move, gets rid of him, and he gets a job 12 days later in Atlanta. And now Clint Kubiak got his first job in 2021, the year that it all fell down around Zim's ears, and now has won a Super Bowl with Zim's mantra: run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. So the two young guys that listened to him, Stefanski and Clint Kubiak, one 2-time Coach of the Year, the other's got a Super Bowl ring. The one that gave Zim the middle finger and was arrogant and basically said, I'm not going to run the ball. Do what you want. And he got fired after 13 games was John D. Filippo.
Yeah.
Flip came in thinking he was the head coach, and he found out on a 3rd and 1 in Seattle when he threw the ball deep, and he basically was fired before he got on the flight home.